Welcome to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. For the next hour, you'll hear proven methods for how to live the multiple income streams dream. Ryan is passionate about helping others discover their gifts and start their own business. He's published 5 books, and his courses and group coaching programs have changed the lives of thousands of students all over the world. Ryan's books include Private Label, The Easy Way, Finding Your Grace Place, and his latest, Streams of Income. And now, here's your host, Ryan Rieger.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Streams of Income radio show. I'm your host, Ryan Rieger, and we got another Ryan on the show today. My friend Ryan Robinson, who is a Legends member in my Amazon Legends group, and he has had a lot of success selling on Walmart. Walmart is the 3rd largest e-commerce site. And Ryan has only been selling on Walmart since only opened up his account since January. Has only really been hitting it hard since April, and has now surpassed what his income was as a school administrator. Really, really cool. I'm so excited to be chatting with him. This is actually a recording of a webinar that we did Tuesday night, and in the Amazon Legends group, and just excited to bring this to you because I know this is really going to help. A lot of you are interested in adding other streams of income, other platforms, being able to sell your products in other places, and Walmart is definitely one place you need to be looking at. We actually start a 3-week live class. It starts Monday, July the 27th, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. The link is amzlegends.com/Walmart, amzlegends.com/Walmart. But listen to this webinar. I think it'll really encourage you. Ryan is doing some incredible numbers, and he's only been doing this for about 3 months. So very encouraging. His numbers are like ROI numbers are like 51% if you include prep and ship and all that. So super cool, super proud of him. I know this is going to be really help you. Yeah, so guys, this is my friend Ryan Robinson. He's been a member of Legends for a while, and I'm always on the lookout for new content because there's just no way that I could ever know everything, not even close. I lean on smart people like Ryan to help us out in this group and in my community. And so I saw a post that he did regarding Walmart. And I know a lot of you are interested in learning how to get set up on Walmart. And honestly, guys, I have no idea how to get set up on Walmart. So I said, Ryan, can you help? And let's have you share your journey, what you've done on Walmart. Some of the things you shared with me on our call was just really impressive. And so I wanted you to let people know what you've done, how it's blessed your business, how to get started on it. And I'll let you go. So Ryan, thanks so much for doing this with me. Really, really appreciate it.
Well, you are welcome, and thank you. And I just wanted to start off, by saying, I really think it's a privilege and an honor to be in this group and to be on this webinar tonight. I feel like I've learned so much from the people who are in Legends, and my wife and I have been members of Legends since 2019, and hopefully I'll say something tonight that'll maybe encourage someone else in this amazing journey that we call e-commerce. So my background is not business like maybe some other people. I know people come to e-commerce through a lot of different avenues, and mine is so much different. I was a science teacher. I was a science teacher for about 17 years, and when I was on the call with Ryan, I kind of joked with him a little bit about it. I mean, I love science, but my students didn't like it so much, and so it was always a struggle to get students interested in things. And one of the topics that I taught was rocks and minerals, and you can only make rocks and minerals so interesting. And so I did that for about 17 years, and then I decided to make the jump to school administration. And boy, that is a tough job, being a school administrator. And hats off and kudos to anybody who's a teacher or a school administrator, because those are just difficult jobs. And I've often been wanting to find something to do different because working in that capacity, I found myself away from my family a lot. The job was stressful. I was in kind of a position where I did evaluations of staff members, and of course I did student discipline, and I was always at ball games and school events or board meetings, and it was really draining. And Les Brown says that there are people out there who sing that Thank Goodness It's Friday song every week. And boy, that was describing me. I was definitely ready for a change. And, I felt like I owed it to myself and to my family, so to speak, to find something to do that was a little bit different. And so we started our Amazon journey back in 2018. And I found a podcast called the Silent Sales Machine Radio. And that's really what kind of got us on the right track. We had worked with Amazon a little bit. We kind of got into a situation where we spent a lot of money on a course that was way over our heads. And so Jim Cockrum kind of got us on the right path, and we joined a Q4 group in September of 2018. And man, we learned so much doing that. And we ended 2018 with about $65,000 in sales. And we were just, excited about that. I mean, we felt like we were really doing good with Amazon, and that was kind of the path that we were wanting to take. We joined Legends. We took the Replens course with Jimmy Smith, and I felt like we were really having a lot of success with that. And it was definitely getting to the point that I felt like we could do this full time. And so in November of last year, I took the leap, so to speak, and started doing the e-commerce thing with Amazon full time. And we were excited. We had a really good Q4, and it was definitely getting to the point that it was kind of on the way to replacing my income that I had from a school administrator. And this was kind of what we were doing. This is about a typical week. And I know there's going to be people in this group that are making tons more and doing a lot more sales than we were. But for us, this was good. This was a typical week. We had about $1,000 in sales that we were making each week, and feeling good about that, and knowing that we were headed in the right direction. We had interviewed our first employee, but unfortunately, sometimes life will throw you a curveball, and that's exactly what happened to us this year. And we got some bad news, and those of you who have been down this road know exactly what I'm talking about. We got suspended from Amazon. They were upset with us because we were asking too much on some products that were kind of hot at the time, and it was a bad deal. And I tell you what, we learned real quick: don't put all your eggs in the Amazon basket, because it really hurt us. And this is actually a text I sent to someone, and down at the bottom I said "sad day." I'd taken a screenshot, and you see up at the top it says your account has been deactivated in red, and that's about the worst news that you can get as an Amazon seller. And it didn't get any better. I mean, it was a long time, and it was a rough suspension, and it kind of left our account in shambles. I think we were down for like 20 days. I mean, it was a mess. And had it not been for some special people who helped me along the way, I don't know if we would have got our account back. But we did eventually get our account back. And like I said, don't put all your eggs in the Amazon basket, because if you drop that basket, they all get broken, and it was not very good. So with that in mind, thankfully, we had opened a Walmart account back in January of 2020, and this is really thanks to Danny Stock. He had done a video in Legends about Walmart, and we'd actually tried to open an account, and it didn't work, and we weren't quite sure what to do. The whole process seemed confusing, and Danny kind of put us on the right track with that. And thankfully, I got accepted, and we had opened the Walmart account. But then we really didn't do anything with it. I think we'd made a couple of sales up to that point. But boy, when we got suspended from Amazon, we decided we need to take a second look at this Walmart thing to see if we can make some sales there. And once again, we are a small operation. I mean, we are not doing the kind of business that some of the other people are doing. But hopefully, this will give a unique perspective, and maybe will help some people. This is kind of where we're at. We are located in Southern Illinois, And when I say Southern Illinois, we are way, way south. Like it's over 4 hours to get to Chicago. So Illinois is a long state, and we're kind of, in the small town, Southern Illinois. My wife and I, we're just a small family. We got a small house, and then we have this large shed next to our house that we've converted into a little warehouse. And so that's where we do all of our business is out of this little shed. And it's not real expensive to live in Southern Illinois, and so we can get by on a little less than what it'd be like if you were living in Los Angeles or someplace like that. But I wanted to just kind of show you a glimpse of what we're doing here. If you were to look inside, I've got a little setup here where I put the boxes together. We've got a table that we do our prepping on. We've got a computer over there where our orders come in at, and it's just a little tiny family operation that we do. This picture, I think, just kind of shows it all, so to speak, that we're small, but I know that we are on the path to being able to grow a little bit. So when we got suspended from Amazon, we started listing more products on Walmart. And the thing was, because we had worked with Amazon, we had a good idea of the types of products that will sell. And we can get into more of that a little bit later if you want, but we had kind of an idea. And also, probably equally important, is we knew how to ship. We had gone through the process with both Fulfilled by Amazon, but we did a lot of merchant fulfilled items, especially in the last Q4. So we were familiar with how to ship items. We had all the boxes we needed. We had all the materials that we needed. So to make that transition over into Walmart was really quite easy in order to do that. So basically, what we do is we just find products and we quickly try to list them, and we list them through what's called the Walmart Seller Center. Okay, so this is after you get an account. You can find products that you think are going to sell, and there are some major differences between the Walmart platform and the Amazon platform. We feel like this is the easiest way to do it, is to just list single items, although there are multiple ways to list items onto the Walmart platform. You can do what's called a spec sheet, or you can use another program. A lot of people will use a program like Sellbrite or some of the other ones to actually make the listings and push them over to the Walmart catalog. But I'm going to show you just how easy it is with an example here. All right, I just found this because it was sitting on my table. This is a product called Goo Gone. I have no idea if this would be a product that would sell really well or not. But I'm going to go through the process with you of how easy it is to do this. You just simply find a product, okay, and then all you have to do is just scan the barcode. All right, and if you've all of you have worked with Amazon before, so you're familiar probably with scanning barcodes. So you scan the barcode, and maybe I found this item for like $1 on clearance or something like that. I mean, that would be the typical way that I might begin working with a product like this. Okay, and then I might have looked up and saw that maybe it goes for like $12 or $11 or something on Walmart. All right, and so when I scan it, the Walmart app comes up and it says we found one item that matches the UPC that you entered. And so they're basically saying, is this the item that you want to list? Now, this is so typical of the types of things that go on with Walmart. If you look carefully at this, I noticed that this afternoon, they actually spelled it wrong. They called it Goo Goo glue instead of Goo Gone glue. So whoever made that listing for Walmart didn't do it right, misspelled that. But that's so typical of the types of things that you'll see, because they're just not where Amazon is at. They're kind of farther behind, but that can actually work to our advantage in a lot of ways. So the UPC matches up, the picture matches up. So I would say, yeah, that's the product. That's the one that I want to list. And then it takes you, and I mean, this is kind of an overview of how it goes. There's more.
Are you scanning that directly into Walmart? Like you're going to walmart.com, grabbing your scan gun and scanning the barcode?
Yes, in the Walmart Seller Center, after you have the account, there's a place where you can just say add a product, and then you just scan it, and that way you can check to see if it's in the Walmart catalog. Now, normally, if a product, like if you were just to go to Walmart.com on the computer, and if you find it there, normally it's in the catalog. Sometimes you'll put it in there and it won't come up, but almost all the time it will. The difference is that if somebody has created the listing themselves and it wasn't Walmart, then you might have a really hard time being able to jump on that listing. And there's some tricks to doing that as well. But if Walmart themselves have put it in there, then as soon as you scan it, it'll come up. And they say, is that the one? You say yes. And then it asks you to enter a SKU, and so you just put your own unique number in there. You don't have to add any images to it if it's already in the catalog. Now, occasionally there will be products that are in the catalog and the images don't look very good, and sometimes it lets you put a better image in there. Sometimes it doesn't. I've been successful with that one or two times, updating the image and making it look nicer. I don't know why sometimes it won't let you, but sometimes it does. If you're creating your own listing, then you have to come up with your own pictures. There's a little bit more information that you have to include if you're creating your own listing. And then just like Amazon, there are products that Walmart will not allow you to list. If it's a product that Walmart sells kind of exclusively at Walmart, like Mainstays or Pioneer Woman or products like that, they generally don't want you to list those. And that's not to say you won't find them on there, but in general, those are items you can't put on there. There are other items I've come across that are prohibited, but by and large, it's pretty open. I mean, I'm able to list all kinds of things that I'm gated in on Amazon. Like awesome. For example, media. I was at a rummage sale the other day, and I found a set of CDs that had not been opened. I mean, they were brand new. They hadn't been opened. The seal was still on them. And I checked. There was a listing for it, and I sold them right away. Now, I can't sell CDs or I can't sell DVDs on Amazon, but apparently I can on Walmart. So, I mean, those are the types of things that can, it's really nice to be able to be open and sell. I mean, it took forever before we could sell toys or certain toys on Amazon, but no problems at all. Anything like, Legos, I've been able to sell those. LOL Surprise. I mean, just about anything I've put on there, I don't seem to be having any problems with it. So anyway, when you find that it's the right product and you've entered your SKU, then it'll ask you if you want to submit it, and all you have to do is hit submit. Now, once the item is published with the platform, then it gives you the opportunity to go back in and put how many of that item that you have. So you still have to go back in and update your inventory, and the program's a little glitchy. You might say I've got 3 or 4, and you really have to watch it because you put 4 in, and then all of a sudden you look back up and it says that you put 5 in or something like that, which would be a big problem. So you have to quickly go back in and say, no, I said I only had 4, and there's all kinds of little idiosyncrasies like that with the program. But by and large, I mean, it definitely works. Let me give you a good example. This is a classic example. I wish I could do this every day, but this particular product is a modem, and I found this at a Walmart store in a town that's about half an hour away from where I live, okay? It's a small town. Not a lot of people, I guess, are shopping for modems in that town, and you can see that this product had been on the clearance shelf for a while because they had it at $70, and then they marked it down to $60, and then I guess they were really wanting to get rid of it because they marked it down to $30. The original price, if you can read that, was $139. So this was a $139 product that they had marked down to $30. Now, I happen to remember that I think I had sold something similar to this on Amazon a while back. So when I go through the clearance aisle, I saw that. I'm like, ooh, yeah, I picked that thing up and I put it in my cart. And usually what I do is there's always people in the clearance aisle. And they're never there until you go there, right? And then it's a flood of people. So I put it in my cart and I just go around the aisle and then just double check to make sure, that's what, it's going to work and it's what I want. In fact, this particular one, I looked at it, I even checked it on eBay and I thought, well, worst case scenario, I can sell that on eBay and make money with that one. But I brought it home that night. It was listed for over $100 on Walmart.com. I put it on there for $109 and sold it in one day. In one day, I sold that item. So I bought it for $30. I sold it for $109. And after Walmart takes like 15%. And anyway, after all the costs, I figured up I made $52 on that. Okay. Now, I wish I could have found 10 of them, or 100 of them, but that was the only one they had. But then there's other tricks that you can do too. And we may get into that later, but there's a site you can go to that will tell you if that particular product is at any of the other Walmarts. And so as soon as I came home, that's the first thing I did was try to check to see if there's any other one that are within driving distance, because if it would have said that a town an hour away had 5 of them, you could bet that I would have been there first thing in the morning. So, that's the type of thing that you can do. There is good profit. That type of thing that obviously doesn't happen all the time. But, doing this is just like doing anything else. The longer you do it, the better you're going to get at it. The more success you'll have, the more opportunities will come your way. And it's like another arrow in your quiver, so to speak. It's one more thing that you can do. If you're not on Walmart.com, I really would encourage you to get on there. This is an example of our packages. This was a few days ago. We had a pretty good day. Of course, some of those are big. We ran into a product that's selling really good right now, and it goes in a 12 by 12 box. But even shipping that through USPS, we're still making good money on that product. And I take a big group of boxes up to the post office in the morning, and I usually drop those off. And then we usually get a few more in before 2 o'clock. On Walmart, if you've got it set up where you turn things over pretty quick, which is what you should do, they want you to get those out by 2 o'clock. So if anything else comes in, I usually send those with the mail carrier when they come by. So that's that shows you a little bit about some of what we're doing there. I also thought I would include some of our sales numbers. And again, I think this will mean more to people who have been doing this a long time. Like I said, this kind of shows you we're kind of a small operation, but we started in January. I think it was January 24th, and by May 23rd, we had reached 1,000 total sales. And that's a lot of packages to go through, and in a pretty small warehouse it's just my wife and I and our daughter that are doing this. But again, we didn't really start pushing this until April, and then in June 28th, we reached 1,500 total sales, and July 12th, we were at 2,000 total sales. And then I checked it this morning, and this was at 7:30 this morning. We had 29 orders come in, which is a good. That's pretty good. I mean, we're happy with that. I mean, if I wake up and there's 29 orders to fulfill, I mean that takes us a couple hours to box all those up and put them together and get those all ready to go out. And I can't read it because the thing's in the way, but it's 2,245 orders is where we're at since January 24th. So we fulfilled a lot of orders on this platform, and we've also, I felt like we've made money doing this. We had 7 days this month with over $1,000 in sales, and so that tells me that we are right where we used to be with Amazon before Amazon kind of pulled the rug out from under us. And again, that's a whole nother story. I mean, our account is nowhere near what it was, but we're hoping to make a comeback. And if we can put together Walmart, I mean, gosh, if we could make $1,000 in sales on Walmart and $1,000 in sales on Amazon. And then we're also working our eBay store. If we could get that up to work, and then you're really talking about having multiple streams of income, right? Which is what Ryan talks about all the time. And I mean, they're not big numbers for some people, but they're big numbers for us, and it means a lot to us to have that extra income. I wanted to go over just real quickly. Again, I think some people this will mean a lot more to other people, but this is our return on investment. If you don't take into account boxes, time, your overhead like tape and things like that, we have about a 68% overall return on investment. And then if you do take into that account, it's probably down to about 51%. And the way we figure that is we take about $2 per order. We feel like if we were to hire someone, we could probably get the price down to about $2 per order. So that would probably put us at about a 51% return on investment. And then our margins are 20 to 25, 26% in the margins. And again, I know that that's not great for some people what they're doing, but it's good for us. And that adds overall, that's an extra $200, $300 a day that we're making. And again, keep in mind, we live in Southern Illinois. It's not a whole lot to live here. It's not super expensive. And so, we can get by on $200, $300 a day. And then again, if you were to add Amazon into that and add eBay into that, I mean, that would be really nice. And that's kind of the direction that we're headed. And that's what we're hoping to do.
Let me share these numbers. So some of these, you might be guys looking at this like, okay, help me out here. I always try to think of the person who's never done e-commerce before. I know a lot of you already have, so this screen makes perfect sense. But just to add more clarity on this, the return on investment. So if we're taking that 51% number, if he buys something for a buy cost of $10, essentially he's expecting that he's going to profit about $5.10 on a $10 buy cost. So $100, it'd be $51 essentially is his profit on $100 worth of inventory cost to him. So that's really good. That's really good, Ryan. That's fantastic numbers as far as your ROI, and that's awesome. So congratulations on that. And yeah, you're right. $200 a day. I mean, golly, that is life-changing money for most folks. Extra cash in your pocket. I mean, that would probably pay for, $6,000 a month? Holy cow. That's probably going to easily pay for most folks' mortgage and probably their car payment if they have one. So this is huge. And that's why I'm so excited that you came on here with me, because guys, look at this number. Just look at these and think that if you could just add this on top of what you're already doing on Amazon or anywhere else, man, I'm excited to see what this is going to do for folks.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I'm not going to say it's easy. I mean, we're spending our time putting together boxes and taping and of course going out shopping. I mean, and we're thankful. I mean, we live in an area, and to be right honest, I mean, most of our inventory right now is actually coming from Walmart. So we're buying it at the store and we're sending it in to Walmart.com.
Awesome.
But you've got to consider there are people who don't live very close to a Walmart store, and that's, I mean, how else are they going to get it? I mean, they're going to have to get it through the mail if they if they don't live close to one. And then who wants to get out right now? I mean, with all the crazy stuff that's going on, I mean, a lot of people would just rather stay at home. They'd rather order it off Walmart.com. And it's, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we're really just kind of fulfilling a need that a lot of people right now have. A couple things to consider when if you're thinking about Walmart.com, there is no Keepa right now, and those of you that know what I'm talking about who are good with Keepa, it works great for Amazon. You can still use it with Walmart, but the only way is to look at a Keepa graph. If it's selling well on if it's selling well on Amazon, then it's definitely worth looking at as a possibility for Walmart.com. It's not always that way. I mean, there's things for example, I won't tell you the name of the toy, but there's a particular toy that we've sold a lot on Walmart, but we also place the same thing on Amazon, and for whatever reason, it's not selling there. And I think it's at a lower price on Amazon. So that I think Walmart has their customer base that are pretty loyal, or at least a portion of their customer base is pretty loyal, and they want to shop on Walmart.com. They don't really want to go to Amazon.com. And then of course there's people that don't care, and you'll get those sales a lot as well. The second thing to consider is it's glitchy. I mean, there's no way around it. Even today, we had orders that they were showing up as needing to be fulfilled, and we weren't able to fulfill them. And I went to there's another Facebook page where there's a bunch of people who sell on Walmart, and I went there. They were all having the same problem, and so I knew it wasn't on our end; it was on Walmart's end. And in an hour and a half, they got it fixed and it was working again. But that's not uncommon on this platform. And then of course the biggest obstacle is it just sometimes takes time to get your account. But when we have more time, or later on, I can go through in detail some of the things that we did that I think helped us to get our account approved and to be able to sell on Walmart.com. And so I think at the end of the day, Ryan, if we can do this, so can you, so can anybody else. It's not necessarily easy, but it's definitely possible. And I think at the end of the day, it's not just possible, but it's worth it. I mean, it's definitely worth having this other platform to get a little extra money on. It may take some time to learn the platform. You may have to deal with some of the silly things that you're dealing, but you deal with silly things on Amazon.com. I'm sure, on those of you that sell a lot on eBay, I'm sure you come across some silly things that you sometimes have to deal with. But even if you don't have a ton of sales, I think the potential is there to have a lot of sales, and it's definitely a potential for an extra source of income.
You know what I also liked about this is that you haven't been doing this for like 5 years, and as far as selling on Walmart. So the fact that you just started this in January and I'm having you on this webinar should be very encouraging for people to think, oh man, if you did this, and you've really actually said you didn't really kick it into gear until April, right? So that's only been April, May, June, 3 months essentially.
Right.
So, and you're at numbers that you're going to be making a couple $100 extra a day. That's incredible to me. And so guys, I hope that's encouraging to you, that if you just follow what Ryan is doing, you can get to those same numbers too, maybe surpass what he's doing. And so I just think that's really cool. It's not like, we talk a lot about Jimmy and Brittany Smith, who's doing a couple $100,000 a month on Amazon, and some folks just can't relate to that. Heck, my business is nowhere near that, and it won't be, because I don't have a desire to have a big business like theirs and warehouses and employees and all that. But your numbers, somebody who's just starting out right now, never sold on Walmart, is it doesn't look so intimidating. Yet the profit is incredible, and man, I'll take an extra $6,000 a month. Heck, that would do wonders for me and my family, for anybody. So,
yeah, it's really been a blessing, and I'm sure there's products on there that you don't make that in the category that we're in, and the products that we're selling. I feel like we're doing very, very well with, and even in that particular category, there's a lot of products that we haven't found. And, there are a lot of people who are watching this webinar or listening right now who probably have wholesale accounts with companies that I don't have. I mean, I've got maybe 1 or 2 wholesale accounts, and I haven't been able to figure out how to make them work well on Amazon. And I am going to work with those and try to bring those over to Walmart.com. But right now, I'm pulling the easy fruit off. I'm finding products that are on clearance. I'm finding products that are hot items right now, and just putting those on there. And there is some. I mean, it's a lot of trial and error. I mean, I've got several products that are on the shelf, that they've been on the shelf for a while. But see, I only buy 1 or 2 and see if they. And you know what? I guarantee you that they'll sell at Christmas time, even if they didn't sell a lot right now. Everybody in quarter 4 is buying everything, so they'll probably sell then. I've made some bundles. Some of them I've been successful with and they keep selling, and some of them only sold one or two. So, that's not much loss. It took a little bit of time to make it, but that's okay.
We got several questions about this same one. How much time does it take to get it approved, to get your account approved on Walmart?
We got approved in a few weeks after I used some of the information that Danny gave. And that's a pretty good webinar. If you haven't had a chance to watch that, go back and watch it. I made a couple modifications to the things because I did some research. I know there's a lot of people have trouble getting approved, and there are people who get approved just like that. And then there's other people that have been waiting a year and still haven't got approved. And I'm not sure. I mean, I think I have an idea of why it takes a while for some people. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I do think that there are ways of getting approved a little bit quicker.
Does Shopify link to Walmart? Do you know?
It does. That's my understanding. My understanding is that it does. I've used Shopify before. I tried to make a go with that and just couldn't get that off the ground. So I actually got rid of my Shopify account. But I know I've been in a group where people were talking about that, and they were actually making their listings for Walmart in Shopify. Now, it's my understanding it's CED something. There's some sort of program that you have to get that goes along with it that pushes the items over to Walmart. So it doesn't just do it on its own, but there are ways to make that work.
Okay. Can you sell used items?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, everything I've sold on there is new. I do not believe that you can sell used items on Walmart.com.
Is there a monthly fee to have an account?
No, that's the good thing about Walmart. There's no monthly fee on that. So.
Okay. And it says Alvaro is asking, Walmart has fulfillment by Walmart, right?
That is in the process of getting going. You can apply to be part of that group when it comes online, is my understanding. I mean, it could have started. If it did, it was just recently. Mm-hmm. But I'm not personally going to do that, or at least not right now. And I hate to say this, but part of it is as glitchy as all the problems they're having, right now. It's like I don't want to send several $100s worth of inventory in until the program gets going and they've worked out all the bugs with it. So I'm holding off on that, but I know a lot of people are kind of jumping on that.
And so you're merchant fulfilling everything.
Yes, we are. Now there are other programs that you can do. Deliverer is one where they will fulfill. Like you can send all your products into the Deliverer warehouse, and they will fulfill. And Walmart actually, they want you to do that. I mean, they have a program worked out with them, and that works out nice and smooth, is my understanding. You can get some good discounts for doing that. And we're not going to do that until we get to the point that we've got a lot more product. But yeah, I mean, you can send pallets in, to the Deliverer, and they'll fulfill them for Walmart for you.
Okay. Can you? I would assume the answer is yes on this. Can you fulfill from your Amazon inventory using the fulfillment? What's the name? It's escaping my mind. You go back into your Amazon account and send it to the Walmart customer.
I've heard different things on that. I think the answer is yes. The problem is it's something dealing with the packaging. I don't think Walmart wants you to send a customer a package that says Amazon on it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I think you got to be real careful with that.
Okay. Is there a phone app for scanning on Walmart?
There is not. Let me back up. There is. You can just scan using the Walmart app, but there's not like a Keepa app. I mean, like it won't show you like a graph of what's selling and what's not. So you can sell. I mean, I'm not sure exactly where they were going with that question, but you can check the prices on Walmart, and of course we do that all the time. But there's not an app that will tell you how many times that item has sold, or what its rank is, or anything like that. There's no app like that.
Thomas wants to know, do you ship to Walmart by USPS only? I know you're not shipping to Walmart, but to your Walmart customers.
We have just started shipping with both USPS and UPS, and there's actually a program that you can become part of with FedEx, where you get a discount with FedEx. And it's a little bit complicated. There's a 2-day and 3-day delivery program that you can get into with FedEx. For most of our time, we have exclusively used the post office, and that's mainly because we were fulfilling our orders with pirate ship. See, Walmart.com does not offer like a shipping program as part of their platform. So you have to use another program to ship with. And so we've been using pirate ship for a long time. We have just switched over to ShipStation. And we're really liking that because ShipStation will give you the option of using UPS, whereas I never could figure out on pirate ship how to do that. I don't think you can. And so there are some like our larger boxes. If it's like a 12 by 12 by 12 box, occasionally it's a lot cheaper, especially if it's going out to California or someplace kind of far away. It's a lot cheaper to send it UPS than it is USPS. And so even though ShipStation charges you a monthly fee, if you're shipping very much and using the UPS, it'll pay for itself. So I highly recommend ShipStation.
So Ryan has graciously offered to do a 3-class live workshop. We're going to start next Monday. It's going to be 3 Mondays in a row, the 27th, August 3rd, and then August the 10th. And let me share this link here. Legends members, do not buy this. You guys get it for free if you're in Legends, but it's amzlegends.com/Walmart. So here's basically, Ryan sent me a huge list, like a very detailed outline of what we're going to be covering, but things like, why, of course, you guys understand that. We kind of covered that tonight, but the advantages of Walmart, how to get past the roadblock. We're going to go into detail on that. What products he sells, where he finds them, the secret trick and the tool that he uses for finding products. We're going to go into how to list them, how to create your own listings. Primarily, he's listing on current listings, but he's going to show how to create your own listing on Walmart. If you have a private label, if you have a wholesale brand you're working with, you found a product you want to test, you're going to have to create your own listing, and that's a little bit harder than it is to do on Amazon. So he's going to show us how to do that, how to get the Walmart buy box, how he fulfills Walmart orders, how he handles returns, how he keeps track of orders, and tons more. Again, it's only going to be $97, guys. Here's the link if you want to grab it. So just go to amzlegends.com/Walmart, and we'll start next Monday. And if you're in Legends already, do not buy this because you get it for free. But if you want to join Legends and get it for free, then you can do this. And Legends is $197 a month, and you can cancel anytime. So amzlegends.com/Walmart. So when outsourcing at the store, are we able to see in real time whether there is a listing on Walmart and the potential profit for an item?
Yes and no. You can see if it's offered on Walmart.com. And here's what you're going to need to look for. And I know I'm giving some stuff away here, but you're going to have to see if there's other people selling that, or if Walmart.com is out of stock. Because a lot of times Walmart.com is going to be selling it for, the price that it is on the shelf, and it's harder to make money that way. Okay, but if Walmart.com is out of stock and there's a lot of there's a lot of products that they're out of stock on, then that's going to give you an indicator that it might be an item that you would want to test. And then if you see that there's other people selling it, then you can kind of see what they're asking for, what their price is. And so really there's a lot of similarities with that as it is with Amazon, because if you were going to look on Amazon, you would probably want to see, well, how many people are selling it? What are they selling it for? So yes, but it's a little bit more complicated, because just because it's listed on there doesn't guarantee that you're going to be able to sell it. There are a handful of products that are prohibited, and I am still looking for a list of those, even though the Walmart help menu will say refer to the list. I'm still in the process of finding that list. Now, I've gathered a bunch of them that I know they don't want you to list. And again, you're going to see some of those on there because people have found ways to break the rules, so to speak. I try to be a rule follower as much as I can.
Okay. Ken's asking about how complex it is to open up a Walmart account. How hard was it for you?
It really wasn't hard at all. Now, that's partly because I watched Danny's webinar, all right? And Danny gives a very large list of products. You have to do an onboarding process, and that's where a lot of people get hung up is with the onboarding process. You have to submit a list of products that you're wanting to sell, and then they have to review those products. And I think a lot of people get hung up there. And in the course, I think I'm going to give you some tips that I think will help a little bit with that.
Okay. Kimberly wants to know, is there any corresponding software like Inventory Lab, etc.? And does this integrate with QuickBooks?
Probably. What we have done is just created our own spreadsheet of when items sell, and you can download Walmart or the Walmart Seller Center allows you to download like your sales, your products, that type of thing. So you can get all of that information, and I'm sure you could put it into something. I don't know of any products that will pull that information out. There could be software that does that, but this is something I'd have to look into to find out.
Are you able to list stuff from competitor stores like Target?
Yeah, I mean, if there's a listing for it, or you want to create a listing, I mean, I hate to use the term Wild West, but I mean, in some ways, it's kind of like the Wild West. I mean, you can put a lot of stuff up there, and I mean, that's not to say that you might. I mean, you could get a little letter in the mail saying don't do that,
Right.
But until you do, I guess you're okay. So.
Yep. How often does Walmart post payments to your seller account?
I don't know that off the top of my head, but I know it takes a while. There is, there's several weeks of, downtime before you start seeing the payments.
Okay. Bill wants to know, what is the Facebook page you use to check with others for consistent issues?
I will have to get you that information.
No problem.
I just have that in front of me right now, but I've got it saved in my groups.
No problem. Bill's in Legend, so you can post
yeah,
it there.
we'll find that.
Jeff wants to know, does Walmart collect and remit the sales tax similar to Amazon?
Yeah, it's my understanding they do, because I see it on there. So yes, the answer would be yes to that.
We got folks asking about the categories. Matt wants to know, what categories are you seeing the least competition in? Nancy wants to know what categories do well or best.
I'm giving a lot away here, but toys. I mean, that's
right.
where it's at right now is with toys. Now, I've also sold in grocery. I don't think you can go wrong in grocery. But of course, right now, I mean, this is just a kind of a strange time right now, and people get upset on there just like they do on Amazon because they don't understand that if I've got 3 little boxes of cornbread and I've got to ship those all the way out to California, it's going to cost me $10 to ship those out there. All right, so I've got to add $10 to the price, and so they get upset about that, and they say, these things cost $1 and you're charging way too much, but that they just don't know, they don't understand. I think Amazon has spoiled a lot of people too with their free 2-day shipping. Not everybody can do that. So
sure. Lori wants to know if you have to submit proof of business insurance.
I do not remember having to submit proof of business insurance. That's a good question. I don't remember having to do that. I know when I signed up for Amazon, they ask if you had it, and I marked yes. I think you should have it. Yeah. And just by the way, we went with someone local. We got a really good deal. We told them what we were doing. I mean, I negotiated something with just a local company, and if you don't have business insurance, I mean, in the day and age that we live in, I definitely would get it.
Brian wants to know, how do you gain traction on Walmart for an item? I have a bundle that sells well on Amazon, but I haven't had any hits on it with Walmart.
Oh boy, that's a tough question. In the group that I'm in, I did see someone who was having success putting keywords in. So I think that the algorithm would work very similar to Amazon if you had a program that could help you find, search engine optimization that would help you find those keywords. When you go in and you make a listing, sometimes, and I don't know why it's not always, but sometimes there's a box down at the very bottom that'll say keywords. And boy, I try to fill that up, if it says keywords. But even if that's not there, there's other boxes where you can do item description, and you can keep adding those boxes. I think it gives you up to 5 boxes, and you can fill those up with keywords. And so if I were making a new listing, that's what I would do. I have had listings that took off and made regular sales. I've also made listings that I can't find. They're on there, but if I go to Walmart.com and I try every combination, I can't find them. And believe it or not, one of those I had a sale on, and I wondered, how did that person find it? Because I couldn't find my own listing, but somebody did because I got a sale from it. And I would like to think that if somebody else would buy it, eventually it would gain traction. It would rank in whatever system they have. But I don't think anybody knows the rhyme or reason.
Alicia wants to know, if you don't have a scanner, is there an app on Walmart Seller Central that we can use? Well,
you can just Walmart Seller Central. You can use your phone as a scanner. You can do that, and then if you're wanting, if you're at home and you're wanting to put an item in, you can just type. You can just type in the bar. Usually the barcodes will have the numbers, the actual numbers down at the bottom, and you can just type those in.
Okay, Kyle wants to know, did you find that the prices for the existing listings are reliable to price similarly? When you jumping on listings, are you pricing about the same as what everybody else has them?
Yes. Yes and no. I think there's times when I see the price and they're asking way too much, and if it's a clearance item, I would rather not have that on my shelf for a month until somebody comes along that wants to spend a whole lot of money on it. I would rather go through it. So there's been several clearance items that we've bought, and we have priced them a lot lower than everybody else, but they sell just like that, and that's what I wanted. It's like I don't remember the expression, but it's like a fast nickel, right? Is better than a slow dime or something, and that's kind of what we like to do. But occasionally, just like Amazon, you have some product out there, and for whatever reason, somebody's got it on there, and they're trying to tank the listing, and they're trying to make it low. And we just, a lot of times, if it's a good product, we just wait, and we wait till they sell out, and then it kind of comes to us, and we're able to sell the product. The one thing I have noticed a lot about Walmart is there are fewer people on these listings than there are on Amazon. On Amazon, it's not uncommon to have 10 or 20 people on a listing, whereas the same similar type of product might have 3 or 4 people on it on Walmart. Now, it might be slower in sales, but you're only competing against 3 or 4 people, whereas you might be competing against 10 or 20 people on Amazon.
Okay. Sandy wants to know, how do you manage inventory, and do you sell the same things on both platforms?
Well, that's a good question. I have tried to use, I think it's Sellbrite to manage inventory between all the different platforms. I just had a hard time doing that. I used the 30-day trial with that program and just had a tough time. So this is gonna sound kind of silly, but on one wall we have all of our Walmart stuff, and on the opposite wall we have all of our Amazon stuff. And so if something for us, all of our fulfilled by merchant Amazon stuff. So if something sells for us, we pull it off the shelf and we make a little note, only have one left, or, get these as soon as possible because we're out of them. And that way, we can actually see it there, and we know kind of what our inventory is. Now, that works well for us because we're small. I'm sure that as we grow and as we get bigger, we'll have to come up with some sort of inventory program. And somebody was just telling me about a good one the other day. I don't remember the name of it. I'll try to look that up. But I know those programs exist that will help.
Sure. And you mentioned Sellbrite, though. Brian was asking about software that works like Joe Lister does with eBay and Amazon.
Yeah, there. I mean, that software is
right.
out there where you can just push the items to different platforms. Some of the types of problems you run into is the platforms don't always ask for the exact same information. So you might have had a listing on eBay and it's fine, and then you want to just push that over to Walmart.com, and now you're going to have to go hunt for all the other information that you didn't need for eBay. So that's kind of one of the problems that you run into. Plus, you're not selling used stuff on Walmart. And then another thing that some of that software does is it'll take the images right off of, say, Amazon, and then push them over to Walmart. And then I begin to think, well, whoever created that listing on Amazon, do they care if you're using that image to sell the product on Walmart? And I would hate to get some sort of IP claim or something like that. So I'd be careful doing that. I don't know if that's allowed to do or not.
Beverly wants to know, what are the requirements to sell on Walmart? Do you have to have a certain amount of SKUs on your website?
I don't recall having to have a certain amount of SKUs on a website. I know you have to have a business license, and there are some things, and we'll get into that in the class of all the different things that you have to have. I don't remember that as being. I mean, I did have a website at the time, and I think I submitted that, but I don't even have a website for our products anymore. So,
okay. Steve wants to know if you're primarily doing clearance or right off the regular retail shelf.
No, it's about half and half. It really is. I mean, we have a lot of products that we are purchasing right off the shelf, and we're selling them for higher. But of course, I mean, there are certain products, and I'll give you some of them too, like. One that pops in my mind are those oil filters and air filters. I don't know why, but it's like every so often on a regular basis, you'll find a ton of those in the clearance section at Walmart for like $1. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Well, I usually buy those, and sometimes I put them right back on Walmart.com. Somebody searching for them, they buy it for $15. I mean, it's a pretty easy sell, and those sell very well on Amazon as well. So every time I come across those, I'm usually I'm looking at the keeper graph from Amazon to find out if that thing sells. I mean, there's a lot of duds in there too.
Sure.
But sometimes you'll come across one, it sells really well, and that thing will sell just like that.
That's awesome. Joel wants to know, Joel's a private label guy. He has his own brand. He says, he just used listing a new item on Walmart, and after many months and attempts, they just made my account inactive. How easy is it to get that reinstated? How is their seller support?
Well, I can't say that their seller support is great. I've opened a few cases of those. I think I've maybe opened 3, and 2 of them were resolved, and 1 of them I just kept getting the runaround with them. But there are like specific people you can email, and I would, if I were you, I would go down that route. I would try to reach out to, such and such person in the such and such department, and try to contact them personally and see if they can help you.
Okay. Do you charge for shipping? Karen wants to know that.
Well, we offer. We have our account set up to where it's free shipping. Okay. So, and at the beginning, when you set up your shipping platform, that's just how we did it. That just makes it a whole lot easier for us. I know there's some. There's a lot of people who do charge for shipping, but I'd rather just do it free shipping and then make up that cost in the price of the item. Okay.
Renee wants to know, how long do you have to ship after something sells?
Well, they want you to do it as quick as possible. So on ours, if it comes in that day, you're supposed to ship it out by 2:00 that day. Okay. is how it works. Now you can set. You can add time into that to where you have like a 1-day delay time. But one of the reasons why we have it set up this way is Walmart they're working with a process of having a 2-day delivery. And it's like a machine learning type program. So if you have items that are in your geographic area that you can regularly get to someplace in 2 days, if you're in this program, it'll add a 2-day tag. And I've been hoping that we could get into that. And so we ship, we're out there anyway every day. So, we might as well send it with the mail carrier, or occasionally she comes early and some will come in after or right before 2 o'clock and she's already been there. So I have to run those up to the post office, but it's not that big a deal.
Lori wants to know if you have any experience with Integra Ship.
I do not. No,
Okay.
I have not used that program.
Karen, on shipping larger items over 1 pound, how do you ship economically? Haven't tried larger items.
If it's over a pound, it all goes priority, and I'll show you in the class that we teach the different box sizes that we use.
Nice.
There's like 3 or 4 that are really common that we use, and then of course if it's a bigger item, you're going to know ahead of time if it's something that you're going to be able to make any money. We don't ship like 10-pound items or anything like that. Most of what we ship is under a pound. And I'll show you different box sizes that we use for those. And then there are a few items that are over a pound, and those go priority mail.
Okay. Martha wants to know is it possible to sell on Walmart for people who live outside the U.S.? Do you happen to know that?
If you can get an account, I don't see why it wouldn't be. And then, of course, you can always partner with someone who does have an account.
Yeah, absolutely. Arthur, who handles the customer returns and customer service?
Yeah, most of the time a customer will just take it back to a local Walmart store, and this is kind of the bad deal. Then Walmart ships it back to you.
Oh man!
And they charge you for the return shipping. I wish they wouldn't do that sometimes, especially if it's a small item. I just put it back.
Right, just keep it.
But that's how they do it, and they are every bit as good as Amazon at taking the customer's word for it. So.
Oh, sure. Kimberly, once you start getting payouts, do you get bi-weekly payouts like in Amazon?
I'll have to check our account. It's not. I know it's not that quick. It takes a little while to get your payouts. Okay,
Kimberly, can you put ad campaigns on your listings?
Okay, that's a very good question. There is a program. And I guess you have to be accepted to it for the ad campaigns. I have not been able to get accepted into the ad campaign program. I will show you in the webinars that we do the steps to trying to get into that. I know there are people that do. At one time, they were, it was kind of crazy. They were wanting you to spend a lot of money, and so I think a lot of people wouldn't do it. And so I've heard that they've relaxed that, but for whatever reason, I've not been able to get into that program.
Okay. Do you have an automatic repricer software, or do you do manual repricing?
We have used, for Amazon, we used to use Informed until we got suspended, and then we did away with it. Informed Repricer does work with Walmart.com. I've heard that Be Cool does not work with Walmart.com. But we are about to start a repricer again. I think we're going to use Informed. I'm probably going to use the cheaper version of that, because at one time we had, we were paying the $200 premium for that repricer, but it was doing a good job for us. But we'll probably go with the lesser one here soon.
Jim says Walmart does pay out every 2 weeks. They have a table that shows specifically which days they pay out.
Awesome.
Cool. Thanks, Jim. Robert, reviews are very important on Amazon. Does Walmart have a similar review function, and does it work well?
We have a handful of reviews because I was just reading them the other day. So I know they do. Whether or not it works well, I haven't had a bad review that I've tried to have taken off. So I really can't answer that question yet. I know with Amazon, they're pretty good about taking off bad reviews, if it's not your fault. But it's been, from what I've read, it's kind of their policy to not remove reviews, but I'd like to think there'd be a way to do it if you had to.
Karen wants to know, have you signed up for Walmart Canada?
I have not.
Tate, how are you managing your time between selling on Amazon and Walmart? Are you FBA or FBM on Amazon?
We are both. I've got, I don't think we sent out we didn't send a shipment out or shipment into Amazon last week, but this week we're going to. The week before we sent a pretty big shipment in. So it's our goal to send one fairly large shipment for FBA in each week. But then, we've got a shelf of fulfilled by merchant items. And so usually what we do in the morning is we do all the Walmart stuff first, and then we do all the Amazon stuff. And that's pretty much how we do it.
Grant wants to know, do you think that Walmart will do the equivalent of Prime at some point?
Well, I think they're trying to with their 2-day delivery. I mean, that's pretty much what they're trying to do. I don't expect that they'll ever be, quite where Amazon is with that.
Yeah. Let's see. Pat, does Walmart have exemptions for UPC codes like Amazon?
I just don't know the answer to that. I've been putting in UPC codes for everything. And when I make my own listing, I get UPC codes from, I think it's nationwide
barcodes. Okay. Kyle wants to know, when you first start, does Walmart withhold payments for a long time?
They did, yeah. That's why I was thinking, it takes a while, because it took a while before we got any money. I kept thinking, man, are they going to send us our money or not? But they did. They finally sent it.
Kyle, do you have to put packing slips in the customer orders?
We do. I would have to read the terms of service. I think it's a good idea. So, we put them in there. I don't know if you have to, but we do.
Karen says Walmart does the GTIN exemption. So thanks, Karen. It's good to know. Kimberly wants to know, can you provide more details on Deliverer?
We can in the webinar. I haven't used the program myself, but I will get as much information as I can to put into the.
It's essentially just like their FBA. Like, you send everything to them. They have warehouses and they'll do fulfillment for you. Are they essentially a prep center for Walmart, a storage facility?
Yeah, it's a storage facility, but they'll send it to different parts of the country, so they can. I mean, they can fulfill things pretty quick, and that's. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like, a Prime service that Walmart has. If you're using Deliverer, then they can get it there pretty quick because they're located everywhere.
Yeah, so guys, that reminded me of something. Josh Walker with Pro Prep and Fulfillment, the prep company down in Southern Illinois, right close to where Ryan is. Their software works with Walmart. So if you had items stored at their warehouse, they could fulfill it to your Walmart customer for you. Kyle wants to know, do you use the general tax code for everything you sell?
I do, and I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not, but I actually have printed that off, and I've stuck it on our printer, so every time I just scan that thing each time. I don't have to type that in there every time.
Kyle, do you use Payability for your payouts?
I do not think we do. I think it just goes to whatever account that we had set up.
Okay. Kyle, do you use Ecom Dash?
I do not.
Okay. Kimberly, if it ends up taking several weeks or months to get approved for an account on Walmart, and since the course is only 3 weeks, will we be able to take full advantage on the course contents in real time?
Well, I'd like to think that it'll be fairly green content. I mean, things will change as time goes on, but so I've been doing that. Well, of course, we've only been doing this since January, but everything I tell you is going to, it worked since January, so that's about the best we can do.
Yeah, and guys, you'll have access to the recordings, and you know where to find us if you need help. So it's like, and
if I talk too slow on the recording, just speed me up. That's
exactly. Kyle, do you use QuickBooks to keep track of your numbers for Walmart?
We don't. We just use a spreadsheet on everything.
Okay, Jim's got some good information. Jim, you said that Walmart has a Prime service called Walmart Plus. It is $98 per year and will compete with Amazon's Prime. It's supposed to start in July.
Okay.
Good stuff. Juan, saw today Walmart is not having Black Friday this year. Have you heard anything on this?
I saw that today as well. What I saw was that they were going to be closed on Thanksgiving, and they were not going to be having the types of sales that they normally do. So we'll see. Chris
wants to know, is there any way you can put additional info in the package to help them make them your customer? I know that's a big no-no with Amazon.
Yeah, I haven't. I'll have to go back and read the terms of service. I guarantee you they're not going to want you to do that.
Yeah,
so, that
would be something a private label seller would want to do.
Yeah, I'm sure you can put something that says, thank you or something like that. But I mean, if you're putting your website on there, I think you're walking on some troubled water there.
Pat wants to know, do you know how to make variations?
I have not made variations. I think I could using the spec sheet because it looks like it's pretty easy. So that's something that we'll do our best to cover in the webinar.
Yeah. All right, Ryan. Any other thing you want to say, or?
No, I just appreciate everybody listening. Like I said, I'm not. Someone had told me, they said that you're the king of Walmart. I am not the king of Walmart. Okay. In fact, I went through the listing. I'm not even like a duke or something. I might maybe a baron, or something like that. But I'm definitely not the king. So.
You'll get there. You will get there. Thanks for doing this with me. I really appreciate it. And this is going to meet a big need. And I'm just excited to do this. So guys, if you have questions, feel free to, my email is ryan@ryanrieger.com. You can email me anytime. And otherwise we'll see you starting next Monday night. So good job, Ryan. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. See you, everybody. Bye.
You've been listening to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. From right here in the Dallas Metroplex, Ryan teaches several entrepreneurial courses and group coaching programs to students all over the world. Be sure to listen next week at the same time for Streams of Income with Ryan Rieger.